I had so much rage, so much repressed rage from, and I'm just going to be super transparent because that's where we're going today with, sexual abuse as a child, to club feet. I mean, there was some real physical things that were there, motor skills that I had to work on, but I had things that I just did not address, like most young men do not. And unfortunately, it was bottled and stored and repressed. And that was a challenge for me. But yes, I grew up in a very, very healthy household. My dad was a professional bodybuilder. We had a really nice gym always growing up. I remember I first lifted my first bench press at 13, and I was laughing. This is such a beautiful moment where my dad has spotted me. Said, my dad is, he's such a loving father, but he's so neurotic in the sense of he wants to make sure I'm okay. And I'm, benching, and I'm laughing my ass off because I was so happy I was moving. I was so happy I was getting that energy out of me. And it was such a beautiful memory of mine, My dad was so worried I was going to hurt myself. He's like, concentrate on the weight. Why are you laughing? But for me, it was freeing. It was starting my physical journey for me personally. But anyway, so I've been really open about that recently in the sense of wanting to help other men, and of course females as well, about, owning your truth. And the irony is that I see my mentor as well on Wednesday. So, and we're talking, and, I had probably, no exaggeration when I tell you this, maybe close to, I could have written just a book on this alone, probably 300 pages of journal entries, all of last year. So from January 1st, December 31st, this is 2018, obviously. And I remember my 40th birthday had come, and I had all this repressed anger still last year around this time that was really manifesting as anxiety. And I couldn't figure out what I was anxious about. Maybe I was really anxious about wanting all this work to be done with, but I couldn't really pinpoint it. And then I dove deeper with my mentor, and we started talking about it. And she said, look, this is not anxiety, my friend. This is anger. You are aware of the anger intellectually, but you're not in touch with it emotionally. You still need to get in touch with it emotionally. And it was hard for me personally because working out is so fun for me. I enjoy working out. But I had to I wanted to experience the anger physically. So, and it doesn't necessarily mean yelling, doesn't mean screaming. It just means getting that emotion out of your body in a healthy way, because anger can be very healthy. And I was told, from different people growing up, that anger is not a healthy tool and that we don't get angry. But I realized that was wrong, and that it's really important to feel anger. It's really important to embrace anger. So, long story short, I celebrated my 41st birthday a couple weeks ago, and I felt much different this year than I did last year. And I was telling my mentor, you mentioned about if you miss your opportunity to listen to your body, it's okay. There'll always be another opportunity. Sure. And then you mentioned about going deeper. And that was me last year. Just when I thought I overcame something, there was another battle, or there was another dragon facing me, or, and I felt like, some, mythical creature like Achilles or something, like, oh, I got to fight another bad guy. But last year was a lot of hard work for me. There was a lot of emotional heavy lifting last year in a great way. And I wouldn't change anything, because now I'm starting to reap the benefits of this emotional freedom that I'm feeling. And I'm one with the anger, and I don't feel anxiety at all. In fact, I've never been more present, but that's again because of the hard work that I did. So it was really nice to sort of celebrate myself a year later. Of course, this was many years in the making. It wasn't just doing the work for a year, but doing this incredible intense work. So anyway, I guess what I say is that, again, there is no better reward than actual, going through the work and realizing, okay, if you overcome the first step, that's okay, because there's always going to be something else to work on. But you don't fear that, you embrace that, because you are becoming your best self. Exactly. And as men, we're talking about these, incredibly personal, detailed stories. You're sharing, incredible, detailed, stories about your health, and I'm sharing about sexual abuse. These are things, most men don't talk about, but we're freer just by talking about it. That's the first step. Or we're freer just by saying, you know what, Dr. Kevin, this is not anything to be ashamed of. Shame has no place. Guilt has no place. These are just useless emotions that do not serve us. No, we should be proud that these things happen to us, because we're going to make ourselves better. We're going to make ourselves great. They will not define us.
That's exactly right. I look at emotions, and I didn't do this for a long time. The emotions are just like colors in a rainbow. And so they're on the spectrum. So I don't want to throw it away. I need to honor it. I need to welcome it in. And it's my teacher. It has been my teacher, and it continues to be.